the Air Force is now arming its fleet of B-52 bombers with prototype nuclear-armed cruise missiles to prepare the aircraft for the possibility of launching the long-range standoff weapon. Through a $250 million deal, the Air Force will work with B-52 manufacturer Boeing to build missile carriage hardware and software, and test long-range standoff integration. Service officials said, the Air Force has been working with industry on prototyping and design work on the emerging long-range standoff weapon nuclear-armed cruise missile, set to enter into a new phase of construction by 2022. Raytheon and Lockheed are now working on a $900 million technology maturation and risk reduction deal for the long-range standoff. Due to emerging nuclear weapons threats, the Air Force now envisions an operational long-range standoff by the end of the 2020s, as opposed to prior thoughts that it may not be ready until the 2030s. Air Force officials tell Warrior Maven that plans to move into the engineering and manufacturing development phase are on track for 2022. U.S. Air Force weapons developers believe the emerging nuclear-armed long-range standoff weapon will enable strike forces to attack deep within enemy territory and help overcome high-tech challenges posed by emerging adversary air defenses. Air Force officials also tell Warrior Maven the developing long-range standoff is, by design, closely aligned with the Pentagon's nuclear posture review. The long-range standoff will provide an air-launched component to the Pentagon's current wish to expand the attack envelope possibilities for its nuclear arsenal. The NPR calls for the addition of a new low-yield submarine-launched nuclear-armed cruise missile. A cruise missile armed with nuclear weapons could, among many things, potentially hold targets at risk which might be inaccessible to certain stealth aircraft, given the growing pace at which modern air defenses are able to detect a wider range of aircraft, to include the possibility of detecting some stealth bombers. As a result, senior Air Force leaders continue to argue that engineering a new, modern long-range standoff weapon with nuclear capability may be one of a very few assets, weapons or platforms able to penetrate emerging high-tech air defenses. Such an ability is, as a result, deemed crucial to nuclear deterrence and the commensurate need to prevent major power warfare. Therefore, in the event of major nuclear attack on the US, a standoff air-launched nuclear cruise missile may, along with submarine-launched nuclear missiles, be among the few weapons able to retaliate and function as an essential deterrent against a first-strike nuclear attack. Air Force statements said, the long-range standoff will be developed to replace the aging AGM-86B air-launched cruise missile, currently able to fire from a B-52. The AGM-86B has far exceeded its intended lifespan, having emerged in the early 1980s with a 10-year design life. Service officials said, unlike the air-launched cruise missile which fires from the B-52, the long-range standoff will be configured to fire from B-52 and B-21 bombers as well. Both the air-launched cruise missile and long-range standoff are designed to fire both conventional and nuclear weapons. While Air Force officials say that the current air-launched cruise missile remains safe, secure and effective, it is facing sustainment and operational challenges against evolving threats, service officials also acknowledge. B-52 Internal Weapons Bay. Service platform developers told Warrior Maven, configuring the B-52 to fire the long-range standoff is also aligned with the current Air Force effort to reconfigure the aircraft's weapons bias. In recent years, the historic B-52 bomber has been able to carry Joint Direct Attack munition weapons externally, but through a currently ongoing internal weapons bay upgrade, the aircraft will be able to internally house some of the most cutting-edge precision-guided Joint Direct Attack munitions and Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff missiles, among others. The 1760 internal weapons bay upgrade will allow the B-52 to internally carry up to 8 of the newest J-series bombs in addition to carrying 6 on pylons under each wing. Pilots and B-52 modernization experts have said that having an increased internal weapons bay capability affords an opportunity to increase fuel efficiency by removing bombs from beneath the wings and reducing drag. Officials said, the first increment of internal weapons bay upgrade integrates an internal weapons bay ability to fire a laser-guided joint direct attack munition. B-52 weapons developers have added that a second increment, to finish by 2022, will integrate more modern or cutting-edge weapons such as the Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile, Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile Extended Range, and a technology called Miniature Air-Launched Decoy. A miniature air-launched decoy jammer variant, which will also be integrated into the B-52, can be used to jam enemy radar technologies as well. Service officials said, internal weapons bay upgrade, which uses a digital interface and a rotary launcher to increase the weapon's payload, is expected to cost roughly $313 million.